You see, friends, here's what I'd like for us to consider this morning, that the way we move through life is a whole lot like the way we move through a theme park. There are lots of places we can go, there are lots of things that we can do, and we can either wander through life and sort of react to things as they're happening, or we can walk through life with a plan of purpose and meaning and intention and with goals of where we're going and what we're going to do. In fact, Scripture reminds us of this choice that we have. Check this out with me. Proverbs 21, verse 5, it says, "The plans of the diligent lead to profit, as surely as haste leads to poverty." The plans of the diligent lead to profit, as surely as haste leads to poverty. In other words, the Bible reminds us that when we have plans and goals, and we are diligent in following through on those plans and goals, then we have success and fulfillment in life. But on the other hand, when you and I sort of wander through life and we sort of hastily react to these experiences around us, we end up making decisions in haste. In other words, we make these split-second decisions that often leave us stressed and frustrated and confused and exhausted. The plans of the diligent lead to profit, as surely as haste leads to poverty. You know, when you look throughout the gospel accounts of Jesus' ministry, you see that time and time again, Jesus had plans and goals of where he wanted to go and what he wanted to do, and he was diligent in following through on those plans and goals. For example, on the day that Jesus was betrayed, he turned to two of his disciples, Peter and John. He said, "Hey, I want you to go to a specific house, and I want you to go to the upper room, and I want you to prepare the Passover meal. That's what I want you to do." And so Peter and John, being good disciples, they went and they did that. And then after it was prepared, Jesus turned to his full group of disciples and he said, "Hey guys, we're going to go up to this upper room and we're going to share in the Passover meal." And so they did exactly that. They went up there. Remember, Jesus washed their feet. He instituted the Lord's Supper. A lot of important things happened at that meal. And then after the meal was done, what did Jesus do? "Hey guys, we're going to go to Gethsemane and I'm going to spend some time in prayer." What did they do? They went to a place called Gethsemane and they spent some time in prayer. And then finally, remember this part, right as Jesus got up from praying, he looked at his disciples who were fast asleep on the ground. He said, "Hey guys, wake up. I'm about to be arrested." And sure enough, here came Judas and the guards ready to arrest him. And remember, Judas, he stepped forward and he kissed Jesus, and this was the sign to the guards that this was the person that they were supposed to arrest. Now, friends, after Judas did this, you remember what happened? Specifically, do you remember what the disciple Peter did? Take a look at this with me. John chapter 18, it says this, "Then Simon Peter, who had a sword, drew it and struck the high priest's servant, cutting off his right ear." Now, friends, when I was a kid, every time I heard the story of Jesus being arrested, this was my favorite part by far. I was like, whoa, that's so cool. It's also kind of gross, but that's so cool. And I remember having this visceral reaction like, yeah, get him, Peter. You tell him who's boss. You can imagine Peter kind of had that mindset too. But friends, you remember what Jesus said right after Peter did this? Jesus commanded Peter, "Put your sword away. Shall I not drink the cup the Father has given me?" You see, friends, this is where we see the wisdom of Proverbs 25 or 21 verse 5 play out. On the one hand, Jesus, he had a plan. He was diligently planned for this specific moment, right? He knew exactly what he was going to do when the guards came to arrest him. He wasn't shocked. He wasn't surprised. He simply stepped forward and very intentionally, having thought this through, allowed himself to be arrested. But on the other hand, Peter did not have a plan. And let's be clear, Peter, he had every reason to have a plan because he knew that this was coming. Multiple times throughout Jesus' ministry, he told his disciples, "Hey guys, I'm going to be betrayed, I'm going to be arrested, and then I'm going to die for the sins of the world." Peter knew all of these things. And yet when the moment came, it was clear that Peter did not have a plan. Instead, he made a decision in haste by cutting off the ear of the high priest's servant. The plans of the diligent lead to profit, as surely as haste leads to poverty.